Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. This is Saturday. This is the day before Fiesta in Lipa, and I'm going to take you outside the gate and show you something that happened this morning that I wasn't able to capture on the video. But let me do that right after we do the intro to today's episode. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Now first off, this morning, bright and early, 7 a.m. Well, that's really not that bright and early, but it is on a Saturday morning. Bright and early this morning, I hear a horn honking outside in front of Villa Feliz. And I'm wondering, who would be honking a horn in front of Villa Feliz? Then I got to thinking, oh my goodness, we just went to BATELEC yesterday, and they said they were going to come out Saturday or Sunday and do the meter move. And lo and behold, they did the meter move. They came in this morning and it took them about 15 minutes to do the project, and they moved it from the old pole down there directly now right in front of our house. So we are legal. We are the way things are supposed to be set up here at Villa Feliz where it comes to electricity. So I'm happy about that. That job is completed. So for me, I have some jobs that I need to complete today. I don't know how much I'm going to get done because remember, every single day it's a play it by ear day. Today I want to do a little bit of painting. I'm going to see how much painting I can get done. Now I received a phone call and a message from Dave and Emily. You remember Dave and Emily? Those are the folks, they do the farming. Now Dave and Emily, they need some gravel. I need to get rid of some gravel. They need some gravel. So we're going to do a you help me, I'll help you kind of a thing. Remember, I got all this excess gravel here. I'm going to use some of it. I have a project in the backyard that I will be using some of this gravel for, and eventually when we do the koi pond, we're also going to need some gravel as well. Now we'll worry about gravel when we start doing the project on the koi pond later on. If we have to get additional gravel, it's not that expensive here in the Philippines. We'll get some additional gravel delivered. Well, anyway, Dave is going to come here this morning and get some of this, the residual gravel that we use to make the concrete mix. And then one of the things I'm going to start with this morning, because I don't know what time he's getting over here, he told me that he was on his way, but they were stuck. There's a parade, I guess it's Fiesta time also, maybe in Rosario, which is not very far from here. Maybe, about 20-25 kilometers away from here. So they will be over sometime, he said, before lunch. We'll see about that. Now, what I want to do, I want to get started with some of the painting this morning. I think everything is dry enough, and I'm going to see how I can do a layer or two of painting on some of the walls here, the retaining walls in the yard. Maybe before I do some, I might do just a little bit of grinding first, then I'll do some painting. So let's go ahead and get started on today's project. Now I have to tell you, I feel obligated to tell you that the pressure washer I had yesterday made a really big improvement. If you see the wall here, remember all the mold and mildew that was up underneath the bottom of the pebble rock here, where the pebble rock topper goes onto the retaining wall, and it cleaned it up very nice, but it still needs another coat. It needs a good coat of paint. So we're going to pretty much do the entire retaining wall here, and then I have some places that I need on the house. Where I made a comment or replied to one of the comments inside the comment section on yesterday's episode, where I told you that my the finishers, they did a really bad job of doing some of the finishing. And if you look right here, and it's just in this section right here, what they did, they put the skim coat on first, and when they put the skim coat on, they didn't let it dry, and they painted right over wet skim coat. And what that does, that puts moisture behind the paint, and it causes bubbling, and that's what happened here. And it will flake off, even with your fingers, it will flake off. So when the pressure washer came, you can see what it did over here. So what we'll do is we'll kind of scratch this off, we'll sand it down a little bit, and we'll cover that back up, and you won't even notice it. That will be because the skim coat right now, it is dried there, it's cured, so it should do better. It should adhere better than the first coat that went on there. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of grinding right here to make up for the poor workmanship that they did when they were working with the pebble rock on the top, and they trimmed off this part of the retaining wall, and they just did a real haphazard job of splattering on some of the mortar mix on there. So we'll clean that up a little bit, and then hopefully we can get into painting before lunchtime. Okay, now that I've got some of the sanding done and I blew off all the dust that was on there, we can actually apply some of the paint. Now if you want a fine finish, a nice flat texture for a wall like we have on the house itself, then of course you would do the skim coat. You would do multiple layers of the skim coat with sanding in between each one of the layers. Then you would apply and allow it to cure, unlike the uncured skim coat that we have on one corner of the house over there. Allow it to cure, and then you can put your base coat if you want to do like the Boysen 701, the B701, and for a base coat, and then you can put other coats over. But this is just the retaining wall out here. Now you notice I did a little bit of roughing up with the grinder on this part of the cement. I made it a little bit flush here, and I roughed it up here because this is a retaining wall. I want a different texture here than I want on the house. I kind of want that kind of roughed 3D texture on this wall right here. So that's what I did here. I went ahead, roughed this up, so it will all have a little bit of a rougher feeling that you would probably want for your retaining wall. Now if you also want to retain a rough type of a finish like we have right here, you could do what the original finishers did here, and you could mix up a compound of some sand and some Portland cement mix. Nothing in between, but it has a high concentrate of sand inside of it. And then you take it and you splatter it on the wall, and you can take nothing but just a piece of wood, and you can rub it around and round on here in a round type of a motion inside here, and it will give you this kind of texture that you see right here. And it doesn't have to be very thick. It only has to be maybe 10-15 millimeters thick if you want to do that on it to give you this type of coat. Now later on, there's some places on here that I want to go back over and do that, but for all purposes for today, I just want to get this thing painted. And later on in the evolution of Villa Feliz, we'll come back out and we'll probably sand down some of the imperfections that we have, because the finishers here also in a lot of spots, what they did over in this area, they put skim coat, and they should have never put skim coat on here. It should have been only, and that's what they used to hide some of the imperfections, but we don't really care about imperfections. I would rather see the imperfections and the rough texture than a flat skim coat, which is kind of what they did mostly on the other side over there. Well, we can come back later on and we can make that correction again later on in the evolution of Villa Feliz. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's do some painting. Now I'm often asked, what is the color that I use to paint Villa Feliz? The exterior color of Villa Feliz itself and the retaining wall, which is the same color as Villa Feliz. Now the fence is a different color. Now, I've had many people ask me, and I think I sent out many wrong replies because I copied the number that I had on one of the old containers, but I think it was the wrong one. It was written down improperly. So, if you have interest in painting your house the same color that we did here, this is actually a Boysen paint, but it's the Boysen Titan brand, and it's an elastomeric. And what that means is it actually breathes, it moves. If you have a crack or something underneath, it's very forgiving. It's a very good exterior and interior paint to use inside your house. And this is called Takeout. The name of it is Takeout, and it is BCP 153. I got it right this time, BCP 153. And it is also, for us, we don't like sheen. We don't like, well, I don't like sheen. I don't like anything that's glossy. It's not glossy. It's not semi-glossy. It's what they call satin, or it's pretty much satin or flat. That's what we used on the house here. Everything is more of a pastel type of a color or finish. So if you are looking for the exact color that we used here at Villa Feliz for the outside of our house, it is Boysen Titan brand, BCP 153 in satin or flat. Well, a vast improvement so far. I'm not done. I have to do some touch up around the bottom. I'll use the brush and a cardboard so I don't get the paint on the grass blocks and the grass itself. But it doesn't matter if it gets on the grass anyway, because that will be cut off later on. But we want to make sure that the grass blocks stay nice and clean. But I have to stop. I have to pause for a moment because Dave and Emily are over here. And Dave is picking up some of those, the 3/4 gravel that I was telling you about earlier. And I think they dropped off some seeds. We'll have to check out and see what they dropped off. So we're going to pause for a little bit and then we'll get back to painting here in just a little bit. Silly boy. Anyway, this is the end of the day. It's 5:30. Dave and Emily, they just left again. They picked up their second load. I don't know if we can look out through the gate here, but you can see they put a really big dent on all that extra gravel that I had left over from the construction. Oh, we'll go outside the gate and we'll take a look and see how much they took. So now, as you can see, they took a big dent. 2 trips, I don't know how many bags, a lot of bags. But this is what we have left. And they're going to come back and they're going to get some more. So this area is getting cleaned up. I'd be glad to get everything out of here gone. But I asked them just to leave, I don't know, about 6 or 8, 10 bags of gravel, because we still have to do the little driveway coming into the service gate. And we're going to put a little walk, a step up, just like from the driveway that goes up into the backyard. We're going to do one going up on Kubo Hill back there as well. They're also going to pick up a lot of the sand that we have. So we're slowly getting rid of all the construction residue here. So it'll be like a regular lot, even though I don't have any neighbors, but it'll be like a regular lot and it needs to be cleaned up anyway. Now for me today, the job of the day was DIY project painting. And I'll show you how much painting I got done today. Now all of this area on the walkway, all of the retaining wall on both sides, all done. This is all done. Now a little bit over in this area, I will focus on this area another time around the basement. But I did this area here. Again, part of the driveway here. All the driveway is now done nice and clean. Fresh coat of paint. This entire retaining wall over here. And the one that looked the worst, remember this, which was all gray and concrete up underneath here. All of this area is done here now. So it actually, even though you can still see a little bit of a difference here between this section and this here, because of the way that the masonry guys completed the build of the retaining wall, it's still not bad. So all of this is done. I kind of cleaned up a little bit of area here, a little bit right there, and I had enough time in between visits from Dave and Emily. I was able to do this area right here. So this is all cleaned up right here in this area around the basement as well. Remember all those horrible stains, the rust stains on the back. So I worked on this area here. Now this little break here, I'm gonna have to chip all of this off right here and fill it back in with some skim coat and sand it down and do the painting on that, but we'll do that another time. Once I do most of the touch-up done on the exterior color of this, which is the same color as the house, then we'll do some sanding. We'll start doing the white. The white is very easy. The hardest part about doing the white up here, the trim, the precast, is going to be putting the skim coat and the sanding, because it's just a layer of Boysen 701, B701, that will do for the white for all the trim. That's what the entire house was done. Can you see, I don't know if I can point my finger up there, can you see the full moon up there? Ah, it's beautiful. It's absolute. Maybe, well, let's see, where is it? Maybe it's over here. The full moon. It's almost a full moon. But it looks beautiful over the palms right there. And also, during the visit here, the second visit by Dave and Emily, they dropped off some vegetables, some stuff for salads here. And if you look down here, and Nessa's packaging it up right now, but this are the leaves. They're the leaves from potatoes. A couple different kind of potatoes. One produces purple leaves and the other one produces green leaves, and they're great. They're a great supplement or an add-on or a standalone for salads. And we also have some okra here. They brought over a bunch of okra.
And chilies too.
And some chili peppers. So anyway, both Ness and I want to thank Dave and Emily. We want to thank you very much for dropping those off today. Although not all the painting is done, it's a big chunk and I can rest for right now. I don't think I'm going to do a painting for a little while. There's more stuff that needs to be done, like I said. But the main thing I needed to do, I needed to get those rust stains out of the way, and I needed to get the area that didn't have any paint on it, and it looks much better. I still have to do a little bit more pressure washing up on the second floor. I didn't do that the other day, the lanai on the other side, and I missed one section over there, but I'm not going to bore you with pressure washing. I'll do that on the side somewhere. I don't know what the next project is. There are many things. Well, the next project is to get all this paint off of my hand right now. I am covered all over with paint. I didn't realize how much that little roller splatters paint all over the place, so I got covered with that today. I need to get that off of me. Tomorrow, remember, is a day for Fiesta for Lipa, and our hosts that are taking us along with them, as you know, is Michelle and Roy. So tomorrow should be a great day. Now I understand, according to Mr. Weatherman, and Mr. Weatherman for me for today is Dave. Dave told me that tomorrow is supposed to be a rain day. I hope not, for the sake of the Fiesta. But if it is, we'll bring umbrellas. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Well, anyway, we're going to close for today, get this video edited and out to you so that you get it on a timely manner. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, please give us a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream heart at the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and you'll be notified the next time we upload a new video. So until such time, you have a wonderful and blessed day.